Hey guys, before we jump into today's episode and we get rocking and rolling, I've got an announcement, a time-sensitive announcement, because on November 30th, we are going to be opening Brand Creators Academy for just 24 hours. So if you missed the opportunity to join us when we opened, well, you can join now within that 24-hour window. After we close, once again, Brand Creators Academy, we are going to be opening on January 6th, 2020. So if you're listening to this after November 30th, then mark your calendar for January 6th, 2020, and you're going to be able to join us in Brand Creators Academy. And this is where we're doing a live open case study of us building a brand from scratch. And you get to watch every single thing on a weekly and a monthly basis. So we'd love to have you. So remember, November 30th, we're going to be opening for 24 hours. You can go to brandcreators.com. You can get the checklist, the free training, and then you can be notified when we open Brand Creators Academy. All right, so let's get to the episode. Well, hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Amazing Seller Podcast. This is episode number 755. My name is Scott Volker, and I'm here to help you build a future-proof business so you can create the ultimate freedom. But, and there's always a but, you have to take what you learn from this podcast and take action, and you can become the amazing seller of your life. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do this. All right, guys. So depending on when you're listening to this, the day that this is airing, we are just a week away from Black Friday. And well, if you have not started to plan for your upcoming promotions, well, you might want to do so. And actually, episode 753 will help you with that. So make sure that you listen to that episode. Now, today, what we're going to be talking about is a little bit of a scary fact. All right, that I'm going to be sharing with you. And, well, it's happening. And the crazy thing is a lot of the competition on Amazon really falls into two different camps, most of the time. And one of those camps is going to be extremely hard to compete with if, and again, here's a big if you are just trying to launch a product on Amazon and call that your business. Now, you've been hearing me talk a lot about brand building, and what is brand building? It doesn't mean you have to go out there and build a massive, gigantic brand, but it does mean that you should be building external channels and assets and all of that stuff. And it doesn't mean that it has to be this massive like Coca-Cola brand. That's not what I'm talking about. When I say brand building, it's really like identifying a market and then providing value to that market externally through content, through an email list, and really being able to show up in front of that audience and that market throughout the entire year, not just a one-off product. But here's the deal, and I'm going to dig into a little bit more of the specifics here, but there's brands out there right now that their whole model is to throw as much crap at the wall and see what sticks. And I'm talking in the tune of like $30 million brands. Like that's what they're doing. And you might say, well, Scott, that sounds great. I would love to generate $30 million a year. Well, here's what you're not also considering. They're taking a lot of those resources that are not just a single person is not doing this. It's a bunch of, whether it's investors or people that have a lot of money, deep pockets, that are just willing to throw a whole bunch of money at the wall and see what sticks. And what I mean by that is there's no brand focus other than the brand is Me Too products, or the brands are widgets, right? Or maybe 3 or 4 products that go together, but they're just going to throw it at the wall and see what happens. And well, Greg Mercer, good friend of mine, he actually was talking to Mike Jackness on an episode I think that they were doing for Mike's group. And I overheard something that Greg said, and they didn't spend too much time on this. And again, Greg is someone that is helping, Amazon sellers really be able to go out there and dominate that space, which I'm a huge fan of. Okay. His tools are amazing. If you guys have not checked them out, you definitely want to check out Jungle Scout, because yes, they will help you find products, but he will be the first to tell you if you're only going out there and trying to find a product or two and trying to sell them, it's going to be very, very hard. And you are going to want to at least have products that are going to go together and build around that. But what he was saying was they were interviewing people kind of behind the scenes, really, really large sellers. And he was saying like 90% of the sellers that were doing like $30 million plus a year were these brands that were investors that had a whole pool of money. And their whole idea was throw it at the wall. If it runs good for 2 or 3 months, great. After it doesn't do so well, we'll kill it and move on to the next. And we just keep launching product after product after product. And I'm talking like a product or 2 or 3 a day. So how are you going to compete with that? Are you willing to do that? Are you going to get a bunch of investors together to go after that model? That model does not attract me because I don't want the headaches that go along with that. Not to mention, like, once you start throwing that type of money out there, you're going to need a pretty good sized legal team or at least a good attorney. There's one guy that I'm going to share with you here probably in the next episode where someone who's in Brand Creators Academy, and the reason why he joined also is because he sees the writing on the wall, you know, with just being a product or products. And he has a product that was doing really well. Did you hear that though? I said was doing really well because then what happened was he had a claim that came against him for a patent infringement. And so he contacted an attorney and the attorney said, yeah, you are violating their patent. And well, when he was doing pretty good at this product or selling pretty well, he decided to go all in and he ordered 15,000 units. All right. And I'll talk more about this in detail on another episode, but you know, here he is with this, you know, with this crap ton of product, about 60K's worth. And now he's got to figure out what he's going to do. Well, that other company that's doing 30 million a year, they're just going to write that off and they're going to move on to the next. They're not even going to bother with it. And if they do bother with it, they're going to have a legal team that's going to take care of it. All right. So these are the things that once you start throwing, you know, stuff at the wall, you need deep pockets. You need deep pockets. And that usually will take investors. And then you're just a shareholder. Right. And then you have, you know, you're going to hire people that are going to run the day to day and the operations and all that stuff. But really, they're not, I can almost guarantee they are not taking this business and building it necessarily to sell one day. I would assume, because I don't know, I would probably have to ask Joe Valley on this, but a company that has products that could be knocked off or that might only have a 3-month run cycle or an 8-month run cycle, is that really sellable? Is it as attractive? And so maybe what this investor group is really doing, or these investors that are building these types of businesses, they're then taking the profits and rolling it into something else that is more sustainable. Maybe it's real estate. I don't know. Okay. But all I know is that I heard this and I said, yeah, that makes sense. Like, we are up against people like that. Now, the other group of people that we're up against are, well, the Chinese sellers. And I'm not dissing on the Chinese sellers, other than the ones that are hijacking and that are doing all of the black hat stuff. Not good, right? Now, are there people stateside that are doing this black hat stuff? Absolutely. I'm not going to point fingers, but all I can tell you is it's easier for them to get product to market than it is for us. And Amazon is actually helping them get here. Okay. And get their products in. Amazon doesn't care. Why don't they care? Because it's more revenue for them. They don't care if you sell it or if they sell it. They don't care. Right. And I've heard this time and time again. And so, am I against selling on Amazon? No. I mean, heck, this podcast started with me launching products on Amazon. And back then, 5 years ago, it was great. Right. And it still is great if you use it as a channel, not as your business revolves all around that one channel, right? So to me, I am not going to, just because I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. Like, I am not going to tell you that you should go launch a product on Amazon and build your business on that platform. But what I will tell you is this, and this is exactly what we talk about in Brand Creators Academy, okay? It's exactly what I'm following. It's exactly what I've done for years. It's funny how it kind of comes full circle, right? Because if you identify the market, if you can get traffic, and then from there, if you can offer products that they will want, it doesn't matter where the product is being sold. Okay. But now here's the cool thing. when we take that traffic that we're generating over here, right? Let's say it's on Google. Let's say it's on Bing. Let's say it's on Yahoo. Let's say it's on YouTube. Let's say it's on Pinterest, wherever. And we're driving that over to our home base, as we call it, our website, our blog. And when we're doing that, we have a really good chance of monetizing that traffic through ad networks or affiliate sales or our own products. And then guess what? When we want to launch our own product, we can drive all that traffic there. And then we don't care that the $30 million a year company is there, because we have the traffic, and that traffic is going to help us continually get our sales. We're not competing on the organic side of things inside of Amazon. If we get that, yes, that is awesome. And we do want to get that. But what I'm saying is if we're just selling products on that one channel, and I don't even care if it's Amazon, maybe it's eBay. If that's all that we're doing, we are at risk. So ask yourself this. What are you doing? Are you building a business that is solely selling on Amazon and that is your business? If it is, please just understand that it's risky and that the stories that I'm sharing with you are real, okay? And real as far as I've heard it time and time again, where someone has a product, it's doing well, it gets either knocked off or you have a hijacker come in and then take, all of your positive reviews, and now they're negative reviews because they're sending out an inferior product, right? Or you have a product and you have a patent issue and then you're locked up with Amazon. Like, I've heard these stories. So if your whole business is really relying on that, it is so risky. Okay. But there is good news. All right. And again, I've been talking a lot about like what the strategy is moving forward. All right. And this stuff has been working for years. Now, the different traffic sources, the different techniques and strategies, however you want to frame it. Yes, things have changed and they will continue to change. But having a market that is interested in what you have to offer by delivering content, building that relationship over time, bringing people in that are just consuming content, whether they even never buy from you again, you can still leverage that traffic and turn that into dollars. All right. You can totally do it. Okay. But again, good news is we can still go out there and do that. It's an open landscape. All right. And if you're doing things above board, meaning if you're not doing the old tactics for getting a website ranked by, driving a whole bunch of or pointing a whole bunch of not negative. Well, they would be backlinks, but they would be negative backlinks because they might be a whole bunch that you got from over in another country, maybe in Russia. Right. And you got a whole bunch of these backlinks. Like, those tactics aren't going to work. And if they do work, they're short term, just like not you, but other people out there, trying to manipulate Amazon. It only works for a short while. And then when they do an update change or an algorithm change, then all of a sudden you pay the price. But if we do things above board, if we identify a market, if we niche down in that market so we can deliver high value content and resources, and I've said this and I'm going to say it again, you want to become a resource in your market. All right. You want to become a resource in your market. I mean, heck, I'm wearing an Aura ring right now, and this Aura ring is a product. But the way that they got me was they got me through the content that they were delivering, talking about how important sleep is, how important keeping your stress levels down, all of that stuff. It educated me on how important it is to know these numbers about your body and about your system. It made me say, I want that Aura ring, right? That's what I want, right? So again, I was brought in by the content. Okay. A lot of times the content is what educates us. And once we get educated, then we start to look at the different products that we might potentially want to buy that support that market, right? That thing. All right. So just always remember that. All right. And again, you can still do this. You can still go out there and serve your market with content. If you don't know if your market will actually lend itself to this, then you need to go through the brand growth validation checklist. It's free. I have a free training walking through, actually looking over my shoulder, looking at how I'm identifying if a market is a go or if it's not a go. And you'll be able to identify this. So if you just go to brandcreators.com, do that, and you'll be able to go through that process. It's not hard. It's about 5 pages. You can go through that. And once you get through it too, you're going to learn that process, but you're going to identify if there's even traffic in this market, or if there's even the ability to create content for that market. Maybe you're not able to build an email list. That would be a red flag. Maybe we're going to also see if there's ad networks and affiliate offers or products that we can sell, sponsors, or maybe just wholesaling or private labeling. Like, we can start to identify this once we go through this process. And this is exactly what we've done in what we call the new brand, which is about 2.5 years old now. And we've really diversified that brand so well. And actually, I'm going to do an episode here soon on how we got to 1 million website visitors, 2.5 million page views in 12 months. Now, we did that in the last 12 months. The first year was not that. The first year, I think we had, and I'll have to go back and look at those numbers, but they were under 100,000. Okay. So we've grown that. So the last 12 months, we've gotten 1 million website visitors. How would it be for you if you had 1 million website visitors in a year? So, what are we talking there? We're over 150,000 per month, right? Over 2.5 million page views. That's almost a couple 100,000 page views. Like, I know personally, you can turn that into revenue and diversified revenue. You can build the email list without even having to pay for it. There's all of these things, digital guides that you can offer. There's so much that opens up when you understand that the traffic is really the keys to the kingdom. It really is, because if you have the traffic in the right market, okay, what I mean by that is if you have the market and then you have the traffic, you're able to then put these different things in front of those people. Like, I can literally right now go into Hello Bar, which is a service that we use, and I can just put a little banner at the very top, and I can rotate that. I can do an A/B test and see what offer converts. I can have a special launch coming up, and I can announce it there. Hey, this week only, limited, quantities, our brand new garlic press, grab yours while supplies last. Like, I can put that at the top, right? And there's going to be thousands of people that see it that day. And I could put an email opt-in up there, which we do. And we generally get between 30 and 50 right now, like clockwork, every single day for free, by the way. And then they enter into our autoresponder. Our autoresponder is about a 45-day run. So they go through that autoresponder, and we're always contacting and connecting through those emails, and giving value, but also offers are kind of woven in there. And then people come over to the blog. I mean, I can go on and on and on. All right. But it does take understanding the market. It takes understanding what they are looking for, what they need. How can you become that resource? And then how can you show up consistently? I've got an example that I'm sharing inside of Brand Creators Academy. There's actually 2 brands that I'm doing as these test brands, right? And one of them is about a month and a half older than the one that I'm sharing inside of there. And we just seen, actually this morning, I was looking at the numbers. We just hit, after 5.5 months, we just hit 103 unique visitors, okay, in one day, okay? So right now, if you look at all the page views and all that stuff, we're over 5,500 page views. What that means is people are staying on the site, right? And the cool thing about that is when those people are on the site, they're taking more of your content and they're consuming it. And every time they go to a new post or a new thing that we're sharing, there's an opportunity for them to buy something through an affiliate link or one of our own products, or opt in to our email list, all of that stuff. And then the other thing is every single page view that's counted towards our AdThrive numbers. And I've talked about that before. AdThrive is a pretty large network for ad networks, where basically they will serve up ads to the people that are visiting the site. And you need to be doing about 100,000 sessions per month in order to get approved for that. Mediavine would be the one down from that. That's 25,000. And then before that would be like AdSense. So you have other options if you're not at that level. But right now, we're producing revenue just from people showing up on the site every single day. Okay. So again, I can't stress it enough. We want to be able to do it this way. And then the Amazon component is just one of those channels, right? And yes, we are still selling through Amazon right now. And yes, we are still going to launch products on Amazon, but it's just where the sale and the transaction is being made. It is where the reviews are going to be housed. And this way here, if we ever want to turn that off and just point those links over to our own website because we had an issue or we had something happen to the listing, we always could do that because internally, that's what we're doing. We are basically taking that link and we're creating what we call a pretty link. And then from there, we can always redirect that at any time, as long as the traffic's still coming in. And my good friend Alex from Travel Fashion Girl, that's exactly what she's done. She's got different posts and videos that are ranking really well. It's driving thousands of visitors, and they're all being pointed through a pretty link, which then will send them over to her Amazon listings. But if something happened, she can just go in the back end of that link, change where she wants it to go, and boom, she's off to the races. She doesn't have to worry about being dependent on Amazon. Now, is she getting organic sales from Amazon? Absolutely. Are we? Sure. Are we using pay-per-click on Amazon? Yeah. Like, why wouldn't we? Right? But it's not the whole business. Okay. So again, I just kind of want to give you, the stuff that a lot of people don't talk about. They don't talk about like, okay, Amazon's a great platform and yes, you can launch products and you can be successful, but you need those other things to really make sure that you really future-proof your business, right? And you're competing against those businesses that are just throwing up Me Too products and they're generating $30 million a year. But what you're not hearing is how much are they making on that 30 million? Is it 10%? Is it 20%? What are they happy with, right? And how many products are they going to have to liquidate? How many products are going to have to take as a loss? So you have to have a lot of money in order to throw that stuff at the wall, right? And then logistics, and it just sounds like a nightmare to me, not something that I would want to do, but it's happening. So again, I just wanted to throw that out there and let you know that that's what's happening. That's what I heard through the grapevine. I've heard it numerous times, but actually Greg and Mike kind of reminded me through their conversation, and I thought I would bring it up here. And then again, we have, more and more, Chinese sellers coming in. So it's just going to get, more and more as we move into 2020 and beyond. So again, brandcreators.com is where I would go because you can grab that brand growth validation checklist there. You're going to want that. You are going to want that because it's going to allow you to see where is your brand right now or the brand that you want to launch. Where is it right now? What are the opportunities? Where can you find traffic? Where can you build the email list from? Or can you or can't you? All of those questions will be answered inside of that. So definitely go check that out. Now, the other thing I wanted to say here and kind of share with you before I let you go is, because it's kind of time sensitive, is on November 30th, which is the day after Black Friday, we are going to be opening Brand Creators Academy for just 24 hours. Okay. This is I'm doing air quotes, our little Black Friday little special that we're doing because we closed about a month ago now, and we aren't going to be opening again until January 6th, 2020. So if you're listening to this after Black Friday, well, you can get in January 6th, 2020. Make sure that you mark that date on your calendar because we're only going to be opening it for about 5 days. That's January 6th, 2020. But before that, if you are listening to this before Black Friday, we are going to be opening up Saturday, November 30th at midnight. And we are going to open it up for 24 hours and Brand Creators Academy enrollment will be open. All right. So if you're at all interested, go to brandcreators.com, grab that checklist, watch those training videos that I put together for you. And you'll also then be notified when we open Brand Creators Academy, and you can get in if you're at all interested. And what we're doing there is we're really doing an open case study. You're able to see exactly what we're doing from scratch. We're documenting everything along the way. So no matter when you come in, you're going to be able to go through from the beginning up to where we are now. And then everything we're doing in the future, you're going to be able to watch every single month. We do 2 office hours calls there for all of our members, and we do deep dive sessions and hot seat sessions. So it's just a lot of fun, but it's a learning experience every single day. every single week, every single month. All right. So if you're interested, definitely would love to have you. Brandcreators.com. You can get all the details there. All right, guys. So this is episode 755. If you want the show notes, the transcripts to this episode, head over to theamazingseller.com/755 and you can get all that over there. All right, guys. So that's it. That's going to wrap it up. As always, remember, I'm here for you. I believe in you and I am rooting for you, but you have to, come on, say it with me, say it loud, say it proud, take action. Have an awesome, amazing day, and I'll see you right back here on the next episode.